Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energy for the upcoming new moon solar eclipse that's occurring on December 4th, 2021. So before we get into the reading, I just want to mention that the 2022 forecast for all life path numbers are up now on my YouTube channel and on my podcast. So check those out if you haven't already. This is also a perfect time of year to order your own personal year ahead forecast for 2022, which will look more in-depthly at your personal numerology for the next 12 months. And if you order within 2021, I will also include the remainder of 2021 for free. The link for that and for all of my services are in the description box below. All right, so let's dive into this. So we have some really interesting energies coming up around this eclipse. Not surprising, but yeah, just interesting. So we start off by looking at, let me just say, first of all, the energies that I'm focusing on, or the numerology I'm focusing on for this time frame, and really this is going to be you can probably start to feel these energies very, very soon, depending on when you listen to this. Definitely very potent around the 4th, but also these energies, because this is an eclipse, you can feel these energies for up to 6 months. So just keep that in mind. You may not see everything come into fruition or happen with a big bang on the 4th. You may just start to see things trickle in. So just kind of keep that in mind. But the numerology that I'm really wanting to focus on here that really stood out to me are the energies of the 3, the 4, the 12, and 21. So obviously the 12 and the 21 are influencing numbers for the 3. So let's take a look first at the 21-3 energies. This energy brings with it sort of an unexplained lust for life, like something within us is reawakened and raring to go. This is a time when your social calendar can fill up, you may crave new and exciting experiences, and you may seek out entertainment, or perhaps you are the entertainer. So this can be a really supportive energy for networking and meeting people who open doors for you, or that you open doors for them within the physical and within the mind. So things can feel a little bit sort of larger than life now. So as with anything, moderation is going to be key to maintain our balance. So we may find communication with others seems easier now, and lines of communication seem to open where before there may have been some disconnects. So this is a beautiful energy to cultivate relationships and to dive in deeper to the richness and the awareness that these exchanges can bring. So I would say keep a very open mind when it comes to the people who enter your experience now. Golden nuggets of wisdom can come from some of the most unlikely and unexpected places. So if you can kind of see everyone as your teacher now, and then you'll certainly walk away from this experience and this energy with many riches of understanding and clarity. So just be, like I said, sometimes we have the assumption of, we meet somebody and we're like, okay, this person doesn't make sense in my environment type thing. And so we sort of don't interact like we normally would if we sort of feel that immediate connection. But I would say just keep an open mind to the people who come in, the messages that they share. You don't have to resonate with all of them. You don't have to integrate any of them if you don't want to. But I would just say keep an open mind, stay aware, and you just don't know where that wisdom's going to come from, especially under 21-3 energy. We can also find that travel can come up very heavily for many of us under this illumination, like having the travel bug, or the itchy feet, wanting to go somewhere new, wanting to experience something new, wanting to explore, wanting to expand the mind and the spirit through, a mode of exploration that can sometimes only be brought about by experiencing new places and new things. So this can be related to work or simply because we have the inner desire for that expansion. So for the next 6 months, just pay attention because they hold this beautiful energy for traveling and experiencing new places, cultures, food, landscapes, and people. So if the opportunity arises, or if you can create the opportunity, I say go for it. This is beautiful energy for this. And remember, this is for like the next 6 months, especially. So this energy can bring about frustration as well when it comes to experiences that make us feel overly restricted, because again, this is like big, expansive energy. 3 energy is so similar to 5 energy in a lot of ways. But anything that makes us feel restricted, suppressed, or stagnant in any way, I would say be mindful under this energy to not do a complete overhaul of your life on a whim because you feel that stagnation or that frustration, because you may regret that later. However, if there are areas within your life where it's been sort of a reoccurring understanding from within that this storyline no longer works for you, then those are the areas where this energy will sort of make it nearly impossible to continue showing up to that status quo, when the status quo is quite literally suffocating you. You know what I'm saying? Where you're showing up to that experience and you feel drained, or you feel like you don't enjoy it, or there's no passion there. Passion meaning like it doesn't ignite you in any way, shape, or form. You're basically just going through the motions. If there's any area within your life like that, and it's sort of bleeding and sucking out your energy, those are going to be the areas that need the attention, that need the overhaul, right? And so again, this energy can feel so big and like kind of like when you're spring cleaning and it's like you just want to clean everything and change everything around and make everything feel different and all those things. That can be coming in pretty strongly under this influence. So I would just say pay attention to the actual areas that need that overhaul. The areas that, again, just feel like they're caging you in and you just don't have that freedom or that independence or that ability for self-expression or whatever the case may be. Those are going to be the areas that need the cleaning, that need the overhaul, that need your attention. And you're really going to feel the push to make some kind of adjustment under this energy. And again, this is a solar eclipse. So, we're dealing also with the sun's energy. And so just, anything that's not fueling your passion, your lust for life, all of those things need to be eclipsed out. And so we can see under this influence changes in jobs, change in relationships occurring. And again, they're going to be the jobs and the relationships that are just restrictive or, again, suffocating in some way. So the purpose of that is in the pursuit of, again, self-freedom, creative freedom, and creative self-expression, and being able to show up authentically to your experience with integrity and no longer sort of minimizing who you are to please others or to fit into a mold that never felt right to begin with. So if you feel stifled, then you will definitely feel the urge to break free even more so strongly during this time. And you're supported to do this under this illumination. So just kind of keep all that in mind. So under this big, expansive 21-3 energy, the possibilities are quite literally endless. The world is your oyster now, and to create, whatever your heart desires, go for it. In tarot, this energy, the 21 energy, is represented by the world card, the world energy. And the 3 energy is represented by the Empress. So again, create the world you want to experience. And this energy of the 21-3 is going to support you in doing that. So with all of that said, all of that big, explosive, big energy, kind of highlighted, we definitely have polarizing energies at play under this illumination as well. So again, finding our own balance is going to be critical. Sort of opposing, or I guess attempting to balance out the larger than life energies of the 21-3, we have both the 4 energy and that of the 12-3. And so Let's take a look at the 4 energy first. Under this energy, we're going to feel the pressure to slow down and do it right the first time. We could experience unexpected roadblocks and restrictions during this time to sort of keep us from rushing into anything without planning ahead or being more, methodical in our approach. And, nothing kills creativity like restrictions and boundaries. However, try to look at this energy as a friend rather than a foe. It is really here to help us to focus being the key word, all of that big energy of the 21-3 into something more manageable so that we can actually see through to the end, as opposed to sort of igniting that spark and that flame and then losing steam halfway through it because we bit off more than we could chew, or sort of, it's kind of like if you ever fill up your plate and your eyes are bigger than your stomach type thing. It's like sometimes with visions we can do that, oh, I'm going to do all of the things. And we just start going without any kind of planning or procedure in place. And again, not to rein in the creativity, but to focus the energy so that we are focusing the energy and streamlining it into something that is not only manageable, but something that we can sustain, is sustainable. We can continue to work to reach that vision, that goal. So this energy is very supportive and supporting us in the sustainability, right? Getting to the end goal with attention to detail and precision and patience. So where we might want to sort of sprint out of the gates, the 4 energy is simply asking us to slow our roll enough to more of a speedy walk, right? So that we don't have to backtrack down the road and start over, or so that we don't, again, lose that momentum, lose that steam, lose that passion because we've just completely overwhelmed ourselves and scattered our energy. So again, focus is going to be key, and this 4 energy is going to help us to do that. So this 4 energy isn't telling us that we can't have what we want or that we can't create our vision. It's simply the pacer car, checking in periodically to help sustain us on the journey, while also asking us periodically, is this still what you want? If not, you can change direction. If it is still what you want, then pace yourself. Keep going, but pace yourself. Pay attention to the details, check in with yourself, pace yourself. This is not going to be this sort of thing where it's instant gratification for most things, right? There's going to be sort of a delayed gratification in this process. But there's a method to that madness. And it's, again, for sustainability, to build some kind of legacy from this creation, to build something that we actually want for more than 5 minutes. If we're going to put all this energy and effort into something, it needs to be something that we want to have our name associated to have our energy tied in with. You see what I'm saying? So the 4 energy is absolutely here to help us to see the bigger picture, but also the finer details. So if along this journey, when you fly out of the gates, if you start hitting those speed bumps, simply slow down and make sure everything feels aligned before speeding up again. The speed bumps are blessings on this adventure. Use them wisely. And I'm saying this to myself as well, trust me. And then the 12-3 energy is actually very similar to that of the 4. So again, we have this 21-3 energy that's just larger than life, stands alone, is just massive, go-getter, larger than life energy, explosive energy. Then we have the 4 and the 12-3 energy that are really kind of helping to mitigate this a little bit to make it manageable, to help us to maintain our focus, to not scatter our energy in a million different directions so that nothing is attainable. You see what I'm saying? So the 12-3 energy is actually very similar again to the 4, and this energy is encouraging us to flow, not force, to surrender to the unknown, and to use our intuition and our logic to work in tandem with the known. So this energy can sometimes feel like imposed waiting periods. But again, these waiting periods are more like checkpoints to make sure that all systems are still go and that where we're going is where we actually want to go before we take off again. So as always, this energy is going to be asking us to really pay attention to our thoughts and the thoughts we choose to believe and the thoughts that we choose to take action on. Because the actions from a thought create the reality, so choose wisely. This energy encourages us to become the observer and to gain new perspectives through different vantage points, which we can only do through those checkpoints, right? We have to slow down to be able to sort of become the observer, to take it all in, to look at the present moment, see where we're at, check our footing, check our headspace, all of those things to make sure that we feel aligned before we continue down the road. So this is, again, in line with the 21-3 energy of these new people coming in, or these people coming in or surfacing who are like teachers for us, right? And so it's through those teachers that we will gain those new perspectives through different vantage points and different experiences with those people, which can absolutely come through those individuals that we meet along the way. So again, pay attention. These new perspectives can often allow us to change course for the better, especially if we were so sort of consumed by this, whatever it is that we're taking on, that we've sort of failed to pay attention to the details or pay attention to what was coming up around the corner or facing what we need to be facing in the moment. It can help us to change course for the better, as opposed to getting, 90 miles down the road and being like, oh, okay, I need to turn around because I left whatever back at that other stop point. And then we need to backtrack and start over, or go back to that point and start over. So all of this energy is really working to assist, not to hinder. We just need to remember that when we hit those speed bumps, when we hit those roadblocks, when someone comes into our lives that feels a little uncomfortable or a little bit challenging, like, what does this person want? You know what I mean? But sometimes, again, if somebody keeps showing up into your awareness, same thing with animals, experiences, whatever, if something keeps showing up into your awareness, there's typically a reason for that. And there's a message often associated with that. Whether the other person knows that they're delivering that message or not, oftentimes there's something for us to gain from that experience. So this is going to be one of those times where it's going to be really important to be very aware of your environment, the people who come in, the messages that you receive, the dreams, all of those things, because they're all going to be assisting you on this new adventure, including that 4 energy and the 12-3 energy that's going to be asking you to make plenty of stops for replenishment along the way. So I hope that this is a beautiful new moon for you all, solar eclipse. I think it's going to be powerful, just like they all are. But I hope that this is useful and helps you on your journey forward for the next couple of months. And thanks so much for your support and for listening. Take care, everyone. I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.